try one more time to introduce you. And I'm going to say that this is Live with Roxxanne. I'm Roxxanne Shelaby. And tonight we are featuring the lovely, amazing dancer, Nadya Noura, who I have been dying to interview and to find out more about. She is an Arab American. She has lived and danced around the Middle East, and she's going to tell us all about it. So here we go, everybody. Nadya Noura. And so Nadya, welcome. Hello, Safna. First of all, thank you for being here. And she's getting ready to go dance after this. So
yeah, that's why the makeup.
Right? I don't have a reason. I just have to have eyeliner.
No, you look fabulous.
Thank you. Likewise. I'm so excited to hear all about you. And for those of you who are out there watching us live, if you have questions or comments, please feel free to put them in the chat on YouTube, and I'll be monitoring that, and we want to answer all of your questions. So Nadya, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about who you are and what is your dance story? Oh, there's your husband.
Hi, yeah, that's my husband, Samer. We can introduce him first. Hi.
Hi, Samer. Oh, he ran away.
Hi. Oh, no, he's shy. You're the one who got in the video. Okay, anyways.
I know, right?
Sorry. Improv moments. What were you saying?
This is, real life right here on
YouTube,
right? So you were going to tell us about who you are. How did you start dancing? What is your dance story?
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
well, I don't really talk that much about myself, so maybe a lot of people don't know who I am. I'm also under the radar. Most of my social media, except for Instagram, is on lockdown. I don't do much publicly. I'm also not really loudmouth on the internet, which is, it's not a bad thing to be a loudmouth, but I'm just more of a quiet mouth. So you may or may not have heard of me. I'm not that famous. There's nothing famous about me, but I have interesting stories. So
that's what we want to hear.
So I, like you said, I'm Arab American. I'm not going to say the countries my dad is from, but it's from the Shams region. So, because I still try to keep a little bit of anomaly, you know what I'm saying?
Anonymity.
Yeah, thank you. Because my family doesn't know about my dancing. They've found out. They think I've stopped, and then they found out again, and they think I stopped.
This is such a common theme in every one of these interviews with our Manat heritage dancers. It's like such a common thing, and I want to hear more about you in just a moment.
Yeah,
but staying under the radar, we can't talk about ourselves. We can't seem to promote ourselves very well. We're hiding from families or jobs or a multitude of things and changing our name. And
even
I know
in the Middle East, when I went to the Middle East, I didn't go for dancing. When I moved to Dubai, I didn't move there for a dancing job. I moved there as an interior designer. I'm an interior architect, so I do work for hospitality. So hotels, restaurants, resorts, casinos, you call it, you name it. That's the interior design I do. And so that's actually why I moved to Dubai. It's another one of my passions. Yeah. So dancing has always been a hobby for me. And I really detest that old attitude of I call it old because it is an old attitude of like, you're not a real belly dancer unless you like sacrifice your whole life for it and are only a belly dancer. And to me, that's a load of bull. So for me, it's always been second fiddle. And for me, it's not a choice. I don't have a choice. I could never be a full-time belly dancer unless I want to cut the whole family out. And it's not worth it. It is what it is. So I'm so fortunate for the things that I was able to do. And as far as I was able to go, I mean, I always had a ceiling, but man, I did pretty well for myself, especially for someone that worked full time and danced.
That's amazing. And
On the
so
side, I guess.
how did you start dancing? Like, you know,
Oh, well, I never planned to be a belly dancer. That wasn't my thing. My mom did belly dancing in the 70s, 80s, I'd say. I don't really remember. I think in the late 70s. And my dad's Middle Eastern, so that combination of her records, her costumes, the music that I was around, that tradition of belly dancing, the old videos that, the families have around of the old belly dancers from Egypt, it puts it in your head. And so I always wanted to take belly dance lessons, but where I was originally from Naperville, which is right outside of Chicago, there was no belly dancing lessons. There's nothing there. And my mom doesn't teach. She's not a patient teaching type, so it didn't really work. So I'm just dancing the Arabic style was all I knew how to do. So anyways, I wanted to take lessons in belly dancing, and I'm a lesson person. I'm not one of those people that like to teach themselves. I like to go to school. I have a master's degree, so I really like to go to school. I don't teach myself things. So I sought out belly dancing classes wherever I could. Didn't exist. So I just made it up on my own, bought CDs at home, whatever. But when I moved to Chicago, there's more, at that time, there was a lot more belly dancers. So I just started anywhere. And at first it was like a salsa place had a belly dancer. I don't even remember who it was. And then I met Angelina, who's Delena's daughter. And I started taking lessons with her for, good Lord, I don't even know how many years, but she was the one who like first put me into performing. Like first it was like, little student shows, and then it became gigs and this, and it was an accident that I ended up starting doing this. It wasn't because I always said, I don't want to have your job. I don't want to go perform all this. This is like this is like so hard. It's such a pain in the ass. It's whatever. But it just, people ended up liking me. And it was partly because I was young and beautiful and had a really like good personality on stage, not because I was some fabulous dancer. But that's pretty much the story, sorry to say, of how most professional belly dancers start. You start out as a young, beautiful girl with charisma. And the dancing is like, oh, well, because you're young and cute, and they get away with it.
and you have the look of
Yeah.
the culture, So I mean, like if you think of like in your mind, what does a belly dancer look like? I think
Thank you.
The long dark hair and the beautiful eyes, and
Thank you. Well, this is extensions. Nice and extensions.
Why are you sharing?
My real hair goes to here, and that's all bought and paid for.
It looks fabulous. So
yeah, you gotta have the extensions. It really makes a difference. It's just clipping,
Oh.
So I just put them in when it's time for a show, and then off they go. It's just like the eyelashes, everything.
And so for those of you out there, she mentioned Delana. If you don't know who Delana is like a legend of our dance form. Delana is in Chicago area, right?
Now she's last I heard she was in Arizona, because what she did, she lived in Chicago for a while, then she moved to somewhere in California, and then now I think in Arizona. I'm not entirely sure.
Yes, and then her daughter is a dancer, Angelina, and that's who you learned from. Do you have any other major influences in your dance, people that you studied with?
Yes. So there was Angelina and Delana, and I also learned from another Menet dancer named Soraya, who was here in Chicago. And not a lot of people know her. She was very under the radar. She was one of those, how do you put it, like typical local cabaret dancer that was really nice dancer, did a really beautiful job, but no one knows who she is in America because it was before YouTube, before that was popular. A lot of things now are lost to history. So unfortunately, she's one of them. And she was very shy, very, 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 very shy to be in front of the camera and to be out there and putting herself like too much in the public eye. So, but she's someone I learned a lot from as a performer, especially in the second half of my performance life, because I quit dancing for I always take breaks. Breaks are like the best thing in the world, in my opinion. It's
Good.
like a creative rejuvenation. So I had a time where my dad had found out I was dancing and I was in grad school and I was just like, ugh. So I took a break and it was like 2 years and then I came back. Don't ask me what years it was. I don't know. It was before like 2000, before 2010. I don't know. And so then when I came back, I started dancing with her and her troupe at Alhambra and learning from her. And that was really beneficial for me as well to work in a troupe, especially with a dancer who was the daughter of another cabaret dancer in Chicago.
Soraya was?
Yeah, her mom was Sadia. It was my mother's favorite dancer in Chicago.
Wow.
I never saw her because she was retired and older when I met her, but she was supposedly like really amazing, but no videos, unfortunately.
And do you want to share your mom, who your mom is? Like, would we know your mom?
No,
Who she was
she's
as a
just,
dancer?
yeah, she was just someone that liked the belly dance and she wasn't really like a cabaret, like full time or anything. My dad stopped her a lot when she was, when they got married, but she, I should have put a picture, but I don't have it right now. It's somewhere buried in the computer, but
We'll have to go look at your.
yeah, but my mom, she didn't teach me much except for like this and like that's as far as it goes. She was like, whatever. And then other influences in my life as my best friend, Najla Ferrara in Cairo right now. She is
Oh, Najla. And
huge.
Najla,
Yeah, yeah.
Najla's from South America. Is she
Yeah,
Brazilian?
she's Arab and Brazilian. I'm not going
Yeah,
to say which country because sometimes she says her country, sometimes she doesn't. So I'm just,
and that's okay. She's
yeah.
of Arab heritage from Brazil.
Yeah, she was born in Brazil, but grew up in Dubai her whole life.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't realize that. She's an amazing dancer too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's
I
really, yeah,
I love her.
yeah. And then, I'm always inspired by other dancers and I've taken, another huge influence for me is David of Scandinavia, who's in your state.
Really?
Yeah,
I
he was.
love David. David's my buddy.
Oh yeah, he was my coach for years online. So after Soraya, then I started with David. And I
I
really,
didn't know that.
yeah, I took, I don't know how many years, maybe 2 years. It was up until I left for Dubai. And then when I left for Dubai, it just got too hard.
Yeah.
They blocked Skype in Dubai. So you couldn't even like Skype people anymore. Yeah, it was just so stupid. So I couldn't do anything. So yeah, he was one of my coaches and he really pushed me to the next level. So when I got to Dubai, I really didn't know how to dance. I mean, I knew how to dance, but I didn't really know how to dance and it wasn't of any fault. It's because I was dancing the live bands that honestly don't know how to play. I realized after I was in the Middle East. So yeah, there's no musicians that I've worked with going to be watching this interview. They suck. They don't know how to do the a phrase of music. I realized this when I came back. I was like, why are my videos in America so bad and my videos in Dubai like pretty good? And I realized because they cut the music, they cut the beat. They don't play the full phrases of the beat. So they could be like counting to 3 and then change the music, counting to 5 and then change the music because they go with the singer.
They go with the singer. Yeah.
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 And then and the tabla player is just like, there's no real rhythm. It's all for the singer, which is not bad for the singer, but for the dancing, it's so bad.
Right. And I think also, I mean, there's a general, like the bands especially like in Egypt, in the Middle East, they're playing for the dancer.
Yes, exactly.
Like they know how to make the show good.
Exactly. They understand that the purpose is to make a show, not to just let some girl get up and have some guys throw money.
Right.
It's like it's more than, it should always be more than that. But you know what I mean? It's not like just like whatever, because they really the belly dancer is just the belly dancer because they're like, oh, well, the people like her or whatever. We don't care, and it's like, so like now, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say like now here in Chicago, a handful of us are starting to charge a lot more for our shows. Like, especially me, I come back here. I'm like, why am I going to charge the same rate that I charged when I left? I have all this experience. I have all these costumes now. I have all this stuff. And it's not being snobby, it's about value, it's about what I have to offer. I'm going to sell my what I think is worth. So it's funny because they call you. They call me and they say, "Oh, will you come dance this Saturday? Will you come do this? Will you come do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, but my fee is X amount," and they're like,
Yeah.
because they don't value us. The bottom line is they don't value us. I
Right.
hate to say it. Someone's gonna have like a heart attack, but
Well, no, I mean,
once upon a time we were valued, but
it's the eternal question, or the eternal problem with our dance form. It's like, people call and they're like, we want a 1 hour show for $100. And I'm like, first of all, a 1 hour show.
yeah, that doesn't exist.
$100 isn't worth putting my makeup on. Like, I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Well, and especially for a show that's so late. And, back in the day, I mean, it was $100, but we have inflation. We have the price of gas, the price of food has gone up. I mean, it's kind of like why the price of makeup has gone up, price of shipping has gone up
everything
for
has
our
gone up.
costume. So why are we charging the same as, even 2000, the year 2000? I mean, we got 20-year difference here, So
And your costuming and the time that you took to rehearse and choreograph and edit your music. And, there's so much that goes into what we do that,
yeah, I mean, at this point, we
people
should
don't
be
realize.
charging double. I mean, I think certain cities have different rates, honestly, like, but I know some places charge more than, let's say, Chicago. Some places charge less, and it's always depends on the market. But people really need to think about these things. Like a show isn't.
Yeah.
I say these things because I've fulfilled all my dreams as a dancer. I'm semi-retired, so I think it's harder for people who haven't been to that point to, because I know when I wasn't at this point, I was like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And like, but you don't have to, none of us have to do these things. It's actually better to say no if they don't want to pay, or if they just don't want to, if it's not ideal, you know what I mean? Because that's a tire in hand. So
I do, because that's my life as a dancer.
yeah,
I
yeah,
choose to dance when I want to dance, under
yeah,
what conditions.
better.
And, I mean, I don't, all the dancers who are making a living from dancing, it's beautiful. And like, we all dream of that, but there's a harsh reality behind that life.
I've done it. It's
Yeah.
awful. I some people love it, and I'm all power to them. And my best friend in the world loves it. She loves her life, but man, it is hard. It is a hard life. But she charges a lot. But I also understand, like, sometimes there's times where you don't have, because I've lived off of dancing before. Sometimes there's a time when you don't have food on your table. So you have to say yes to the gig that you might be even undercutting someone or something, you know what I mean? So there are those situations where you literally can't say no. So, and I've known people like that, especially over COVID, that were like desperate, So, I mean, it's just different stories. But the market's getting fat now. It's getting fatter, at least here. And I'm thinking other places it's starting to get a little bit fatter. People are hiring us back. So it's just something for people to think about, I think. I don't know how I'm getting on money issue.
Well, 'cause it's part of it, and that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you had the opportunity before you went to Dubai and danced in Dubai. You danced at this place I'm dying to go see, because it's like the dream nightclub of Arabic belly dance nightclub, the
Yeah.
Opera Palace in Chicago. And
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, I've seen pictures and I've seen some of your videos of dancing there, the raised stage, and it seems like an enormous stage, and so the tables are around and people are there to watch a show.
Yeah.
And I'm dying to go there and see.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I have to give you that thing where not all that glitters is gold, but it's not a perfect situation at all over there, but it's another story. It has its issues, but the place, like, as a concept, it's a belly dancer's dream. It's any dancer's dream. what they're doing now, this is where Soraya used to dance. And she, back in the day, had a band. She had us as her backup dancers. We would do full folkloric shows and belly dancing shows and all this fun stuff. And yeah, it was really nice. And we had a live band. The band was pretty good there. I mean, it was only like a keyboardist and a drummer, but she always really fought to try to get at least people that knew what they were doing, because there are a few people, or were, so a lot of them have retired, that really knew how to play. So, and it's evolved in different ways, and now it's evolved into something totally different. And it's partly because the Middle Eastern crowd is not the same as it used to be. The older people who had money are old and not going out anymore. The younger people are either not interested in it, or maybe interested in it once in a while, like once a month or for a special party, but not like every weekend like their parents used to. Or some of them are immigrants that don't have the money to spend, so they're going to like less expensive, more hardcore Arabic nightclub, And to say hardcore, I don't mean that like in a bad way. I mean, it's just like really is just Arabic people, This one is Americans and Arabs, and what they're doing, well, mainly Americans now. What they're doing now is like a variety show, and it's actually really cool. I like it. They're the belly dancer is the main star, so she's doing the first show, the middle show, and the last show of this hour-and-a-half show. And in between, they have variety people. So like silks, like the people who go up in the silks and do all that crazy stuff, aerobic stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about? Aerobic. It's not aerobic.
Like acrobatic? Like
acrobatic.
Yeah. Okay.
And then people do like a fire dance. They have a host, this amazing woman. Oh, she's amazing. Her name's MK. And she's a female drag queen. And she is fabulous. So she hosts the whole show, and she's hilarious and so talented. She sings. We've had jugglers. It's really cool. It's a really cool concept because it really speaks for everyone, yet puts the belly dancing as the star. Because we're opening the show, we're doing like 15 minutes in the middle and 15 minutes at the end, and a lot of audience participation. We get people to dance, so they really see, but yet they have something to relate with too. It's not like all just belly dancing, because
right.
I can't watch a half hour of maybe someone else's style of dancing from another culture because I don't understand it or understand the music. So it's good. I think it's actually a really good thing. So it's been really successful over there.
How exciting. That's
yeah. Yeah. There's no band, thank God. So we are dancing to CD, which is fantastic to me. I'm done. But sorry, musicians. If you're good, I will dance with you. If you're not, stay away.
Right. It's just, how do they know what your idea of good is? That's the problem. So
good for just stay away.
You choose the musicians you'll work with.
Yes. I know there's some really good ones in America.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're very lucky. And I'm, being in LA, Hollywood.
Yeah. You have got them all, really.
got a lot of great musicians.
I think there's a few in New York left. Most of the guys here are retired.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Our dance, or not even our dance community, but our Arabic communities in the US have changed. You were talking about the older people have gotten old and don't go to nightclubs anymore. And those are the people that would come every weekend.
Yeah, and pay and throw the money and support.
Yeah, it was the only way they had to connect with their culture. There was no, Sling TV where you can watch shows from the Middle East, and there was no YouTube and internet
and also then belly dancing. They were from the generation where belly dancing was still important. See, the generation that's now, the belly dancing is not important. It's just like all the people look the same, really. They all doing the same styles, the same haircuts, the same everything. So there's no individuals anymore. There's individuals to us as belly dancers. Like we know, so I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to get, and I don't mean, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm saying, we as belly dancers, we know X who's dancing at Y, and we know A who's dancing at B, and C who's at what country. We know these people, but a lot of they seem really famous to us, but a lot of times it's actually a lot flatter than you'd realize. Like people don't know who these people are. It's probably because they all look the same, but so it's, and belly dancing's not as important as it was before. I mean, that dream is dead, guys, in the Middle East. It's dead. I'm sorry. It's gone. Don't expect it to come back or anything. The Middle East has moved on.
Yeah, it's true.
They really have.
And that's why, like, one of the interesting things I thought of when I went to your YouTube, I was watching a lot of your videos, like you're on a stage with a band doing a performance. Today, like if you're watching belly dancing on like on Instagram or whatever, it's belly dancers dancing in the middle of a crowd, like at a party. And it's like you're just a party dancer. And there is a very important place for the party dancer. You know,
sure.
getting the audience
Part of the culture.
with you.
It's part of the culture to like be with the crowd as a dancer.
Right.
But yeah, it's changed. People don't necessarily want to see you dance to Kathum or come out to like a long Mejense or whatever. They want to have fun with you. That's what's changed. They want to have fun with you. They want to connect with you, with the music, with the fun, the pop, the this, the that. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just changed. You know, it's like, I can't even think of a comparison right now, actually, but, okay. So like, for example, this is something I always wonder. Everyone obsesses about Egypt, right? What's going on in Egypt? The change. Oh my God, the costumes. Oh, okay. That's not me. That's everyone else. But there's a complaint about the loss of this belly dance art, but this belly dance art is still going on in the Middle East. It's going on in Dubai and parts of Lebanon. But why doesn't anyone pay attention to that? In Turkey, they have really nice shows. People are so obsessed with one country in the Middle East and what they're doing in belly dancing. But I'm like, but they're doing what you're asking that country to do in another country. I mean, yeah, I know it's not Egyptian, purely Egyptian music. It's not the Egyptian people. I know there's a big connection with Egypt, but if you really want to see that kind of belly dancing, it exists. Just look somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think maybe it's just not publicized as much.
Yeah, no, you like in Dubai, you go to Dubai to work. You don't go to be famous. You go to Egypt to get famous. That's why there's so many scandals in Egypt, because that's the quickest way to get to fame. You make yourself a name and you make yourself a brand and boom, you're good to go. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean?
I'm so glad that you said that, because
if you want to see a show, I mean, really, there are shows. I mean, and they're on the internet. A lot of women who dance in Brazil, in Dubai and UAE, they put their shows on Instagram, on YouTube, and they only have like, I got like 2,500 followers, but they have like 8,000 followers, you know? Yeah. So it's like, I'm surprised sometimes, that there's not more like recognition.
It's just not part of that machine, that publicity machine. Do you have any names of people be following that from like Dubai, UAE? Like,
yeah, well, I met Najla in Dubai. She's originally from Dubai, but there is a Russian girl right now dancing, and she's doing a fabulous job. I'm opening my Instagram right now, and I hope I can find her because I'm really bad with names.
I'll put them
and
in the
she's
chat.
Here, I know the name of the place she's dancing at, so I'll find her that. She is just doing a fabulous job. Now she's dancing a little bit more modern style, but she's on a stage, so you'll appreciate more. I mean, Dubai is very showy. It's a showy country. So the shows there are very, now when I say showgirl, I don't mean like your legs are kicking up. I mean like, you know, you're doing a show, like glamour. It's very glamorous and it's nice. It's really nice.
Like the old days of Egypt, like in the 90s.
Yeah, but not so slow. You know what I mean? Yeah, a little, but they're still playing the Tarab music for the belly dancer. They're still doing the formula. what's her name? Okay, that's not her. Okay, I'll keep talking. I'm gonna keep talking. They're still doing that stuff, that formula. I mean, I'm not saying every dancer in Dubai or the UAE is a fabulous dancer, but there are girls that are gorgeous and they do really nice job. And God, they're beautiful. And they come from, there's not too many Arabic dancers. Honestly, there used to be, like, Dina used to dance there from what I hear. And there was some other like famous dancers that used to go to Dubai and dance, but the money changed, which is always the typical story. Other dancers started to come in, take less money and this and that. And that's actually happening again right now in Dubai with another group of, I don't want to say countries, honestly, or people, because I don't want anyone yelling at me, but there's a group there that have been dominating the scene for a long, long time in Dubai. Now there's another group coming in because visa requirements changed, and they're coming in and they're starting to lower the price a lot in Dubai. So it's always happening, it's always going, but someday, you don't know. So there's not too many Arabic people that dance there at all, actually. It's mainly people from Brazil, Russia. There's one girl from Ajmanistan, something like that. One of the Stan countries, sorry. She's gorgeous. So this girl who's Russian, I'm gonna have to, oh, here. Is this her? It's all written in Arabic, so I'm having a hard time here. So my Arabic skills are about like.
Post them on your.
Yeah, I'll have to post it somewhere. But the place she dances is called The Show by Mawal in Dubai.
Hold on, let me put that in the Show by MAW.
Oh, here she is, Katarina Dancer. So her handle on Instagram is Katarina, Katerina, and then _ dancer. And she dances at a place called The Show by Mawal.
Awesome, we'll check her out.
Yeah, and there's a bunch. There's Rafaela is in Dubai as well, and she's so gorgeous. I mean, there's so many. So, and they come, some are not so great, some are like beginners, it just depends on, but that's who I've seen so far. And this girl is really killing it, I think. So yeah, there's definitely some really good dancers out there. And even in Turkey, I always forget this girl's name. There's a Turkish dancer. It starts with a G, Gamaz, or I don't know. I'm so bad with names. She's really, I love her dancing. She's like a style of almost Didam, but a little bit softer, I'd say. Yeah, and Lebanon, I don't know. I'm sorry. Don't take insult. I usually don't like Lebanese dancers. That's just so I never really pay attention over there.
And I'm Lebanese, and I'm, I like some of the old style.
Yeah.
And the big names, but.
Yeah, talk about change. We can talk about Lebanon and change.
I mean, okay, now it's 3 years ago that I was in Lebanon. And it was impossible to find a dancer.
Yeah.
I'd talk to people and they're like, oh, belly dancing isn't Lebanese. And I'm like,
okay, well, all of a sudden it's not Lebanese.
Who are you talking to here, please? And so, I mean, I was only there for a week, but I didn't see a dancer there.
Yeah, I think it's just become a little too, I don't want to say the word, but a little bit too cheap. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the Arabic dancers just became too cheap. So it's like the Arabs don't even want to have anything to do with it.
No, that's passe.
Yeah. So unfortunately, but someone's going to probably like cancel me for saying all this, but it's okay. I don't care. I've canceled myself on the internet. I don't talk on the internet.
Oh, trust me. So
okay.
you're being very politically correct.
Yeah.
But it's the reality. It is
the reality.
You're telling the truth, and that's important.
Yeah.
And so going back to your history, so your dad being an Arab, is he still alive? Does he know you're a dancer? And how does that go?
No, dancing is very, okay, let me explain. Now, some people might agree with me and some people might not. Or some people might agree with me. Did I say it right, or did I say it like?
We know what you meant. Sorry.
I haven't been drinking. I haven't been smoking anything. This is just who I am. This is why I don't talk.
Okay, we love you. Great.
Yeah, some people might agree with me. Some people might really not agree with me, but this is my experience. And I didn't experience just this didn't dawn on me until I moved to the Middle East and really understood the scene and the culture and everything that goes behind the entertainment culture in the Middle East. Pretty much that whole lifestyle, that whole way the business is run is completely against the cultural values in the Middle East. And I don't mean just religion, it's everything. I mean, it's smoking, it's drinking, it's drugs. Well, not smoking like cigarettes, I mean smoking. And it's sex, it's risque, it's causing problems, it's fighting. I can't even like, it's the typical nightclub scene that we have here. To us, it's like, oh, you know, you go crazy. So, and people go, I'm not even saying it right.
Mm.
So what it is, it's so anti the culture, and that's why it's always on the outside of the culture. So for me to have been a belly dancer in my family, it's unacceptable. And it's unacceptable because we're not that kind of people. And we're not that kind of people because we're not the people that, we're not prostitutes, we're not drinkers, we're not drug addicts, we're not like going out at nights and doing whatever we want and like not being responsible for our families. We're not desperate and poor. We have a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what because I didn't understand why my dad stopped me from dancing until I went to the Middle East and saw this. I know you have something to say, so I want to hear it.
It's okay. No, finish what you're saying.
Until I saw the scene for myself, because it really is true. It's really not, it's rubbing against the culture. Now, yeah, people go to see and they enjoy it, they pay for it. That's a different story. Is that hypocritical? I don't know. But I'd rather not have a country full of people that are like Afghani, like the Taliban, who say we can't do anything because it's haram. So I'd rather than come and pay and say I'm haram than just ban it altogether. So
I want to clarify because I know what you mean, but I just want to make sure that people out there.
Yeah, this is very hard to explain.
So are you saying that all the dancers in the Middle East are using drugs and smoking and drinking and
no?
Are you saying that the perception that Arabs or Middle Eastern people have about dancers is that that's the world that they're in?
Yes, and it is the world that they're in, and that is nightlife for you. It's the nightlife
Right.
here too.
So it's not them; they're the dancer in the nightlife of people, other people smoking and drinking, and.
But it doesn't mean that there aren't dancers that
right
are doing that as well. I'm just saying, like, that is the environment that happens with the dancers. There's one of my friends, she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't do drugs, she doesn't do anything. She just dances, go home and sleeps. This is in the Middle East. So we have those people. We also have the people that are prostitutes or, you know, drinking or drugs or womanizers or manonizers, if that's a word.
I like that. Manonizers. Ooh.
Yeah, manonizers. So it's like it's the same as here, you know. So when you think, but to us in our culture, we might shun it, but we don't see it as bad as like, you know, maybe Middle Eastern people do.
Yeah, not now, but I think maybe.
But before.
Yeah, generations ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe even still in some parts of the United States, like they think about, let's say, female, actresses or singers. Do you know what I mean? Like Britney Spears, like they're dangerous women, they're loose and they're out there partying, drinking and doing drugs. Like there's still people that feel that way. And
this is where stereotypes can be true. They're not all true, but they can be true. And it's an unfortunate thing. I know people are going to disagree with me maybe, but
That's okay. They can disagree with you.
yeah, it's the observation that I saw, the perception I saw. And I spent a lot of time backstage with people. I didn't spend a lot of time just dancing. I spent a lot of time with my friends backstage, going to their shows, hanging out with them, being behind the scenes and seeing, looking, watching. Because I
Yeah,
didn't always have to perform. Sometimes I just went to hang out because I also like backstage, you know?
right. And
And I'm a drinker, by the way. I'm the worst. I'm part of this. I am the stereotype. I drink. I've done drugs. I've done all. I mean, I'm terrible. If I have to put that out on the internet, I just did. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean,
I
but, I think you said something important there too, because there are a lot of people that are dancers that are going to the Middle East, and they're only seeing like this much of what's really there. Like they're not living, they're just, you go to the nightclub or, I've talked to dancers who are like, oh, I lived in Egypt. Really? Oh, how long were you there? 6 weeks. Like that's not.
yeah, not really.
Like, did you coexist with the people of the place that you're living in?
Yeah.
And I think you had that experience, and then you also have the background of being raised as
Yeah.
your father that gives you a different
Mhm.
perspective. That's
Yeah.
important.
And
No,
because belly dancers, they get really angry over this whole like, oh, you can't tell people you dance, you have to hide. And I'm just like, sit down. Don't speak about this culture. Yeah, it sucks, but please, like, you're lucky. You got all this privilege in the world to do whatever you want. So enjoy. Because you're the one that's going to make it over me because I have to be like this. You understand?
Wow. Yeah, I completely understand. I absolutely 100% understand, because that's what I'm living.
Yeah.
So we don't have, I'm going to say it again because that was very profound what you said. Most Middle Eastern or dancers of Manet heritage who are dancers do not have the privilege to stand up and take the limelight and I am a dancer, because the culture doesn't permit it.
I mean, even Sahar's family, Sahar Samar, doesn't know she dances. Rhonda Kamel, she hides it big time from her community.
And she's everywhere.
Yeah, but mainly on our side of the world, not in the Egypt wild.
Yeah, see, that's deep right there. That is deep, because she does a lot. I mean, I follow her and her work. She's amazing, but
she's doing her festivals in Egypt, but in her arrangements and her stuff, and I'm talking about Rhonda here and her stuff overseas, but in Egypt, she is Egyptian woman, not Rakasa.
And it's heartbreaking. I mean, it's heartbreaking that we can't, as one of my dance teachers said, claim our piece of the stage. Like,
yeah. Well, we're not the only ones, really. I mean, I think, it's sad, but there's a lot of people out there that can't claim the things that they love to do. For example, LGBT people, they can't, so we're not the only ones, really. It's unfortunately a part of life.
True, and you made it.
No, I'm not belittling what you said, by the way. It's just me.
No.
Like, it's an unfortunate part of being human.
Yeah,
it's really sad.
It's good to be inclusive and make sure that we're addressing the truth.
Oh, yeah, it's just human nature is the worst. I mean, history, you can see it. It's terrible. It's no different now than it was like 1,000 years ago. People are just terrible. This is why I stay off the internet.
But there's a lot of great dancers out there, and a lot of dancers who want to know, and that's why I do this. And I think there's going to be dancers out there that are watching this that are going to learn something from you. And
well, I hope so.
Saying, here's Natalie, and Natalie, you're such a supportive dance sister out there, Natalie. She comes to us, she attends all of these. Thank you. She says, I love this interview so much. I have a feeling when Nadia goes to family events, all of her nieces fight to get her attention because she tells the truth.
You either love me or you hate me. It's true.
I personally love you, and I want to hear,
Okay, thank you.
I wanna hear more. You know,
I'm
so
an only child though too, so I have no nieces.
so does your family know you dance, or do they think you stopped, or
My mom
are you
knows.
living a double life?
Yeah, my mom knows I dance. Look, I don't have a typical family. My family, we're very divided.
Mm,
My family lives in the Middle East on my dad's side, or in the Middle East. And then the ones that do live here, I don't talk to, which is a blessing. And because
whatever works.
that's another story. And
Mm,
then my mom family, or my mom, yeah, they live more to the south. So I don't see them very often. So I actually don't have to deal with too much family getting in the way of things, which is nice.
if that works for you, then that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah. So luckily I don't have the problems here. I have problems with them finding me on the internet in the Middle East.
Right.
Then it turns into a big drama.
Yeah.
So
Now you said you're semi-retired. What does
yeah,
that mean to
that
you?
means that during COVID, until recently, I didn't have a job. So I was wanting to be semi-retired, but I was working as much as I could just to be able to put food on my table,
Mhm.
because there was no work. So now that I finally started my career again, now I can really be semi-retired, which means that I don't feel like I have to do anything. If I don't want to dance,
So
I'm
you
not
mean
going to
your
dance.
career as an interior designer?
Yeah, my career as an interior designer. Sorry.
Okay.
My career has always been interior design. My second career has always been belly dancing, full stop, period. And I'll tell you something that someone said to me once that will always stay close to my heart. It was Soraya, and she was full-time dancer, 100%. That's all she did. She's one of the last generation that could actually do that in Chicago and live and make money. And she was partly because she'd been around for it. She started dancing, I think, when she was 15. So as a belly dancer. So people grew up with her as a dancer, the Middle Eastern community, I mean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she was really part of it. So she was, I think, one of the last generation, one of the last people that really could live on this dance full time. I don't know about the rest of the United States, but in Chicago.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the things she said to me, because it was very close to the end of near her retirement, she said to me, Nadia, you are so smart to have gone to school and gotten a career and danced on the side, because I'm going to retire and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it always stayed really close to me, because sometimes you would hear people's chatter, oh, you're not a real belly dancer unless you do X, Y, or Z, or, oh, you're just a hobbyist. And you're like, what's wrong with someone being a hobbyist? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
And what's this professional belly dancer crap? I've always been like this, by the way. Like, I don't get it. Like, what is this stupid, petty little words that we use to demean other people? It's just so stupid. It should be, if you're a good dancer, you're a good dancer. If you're a bad dancer, you're a bad dancer. It doesn't mean matter whether you're making money off of it or not. There's
Right.
one chart to go by. So.
How do you know what I do in my daytime? Like you have
Yeah.
your on stage and your off stage.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, those stupid terms, like, oh, anyways. So yeah, what was I saying? I totally forgot.
We were talking about oh geez, see it flew
Yeah, I
out.
lost it. I know it was my career, which was interior design.
Right. And so looking back, what do you feel has been your greatest accomplishment as a dancer?
Oh yeah, you were asking me what semi-retired meant.
Oh yeah.
I'll answer that first, and then I'll answer that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of doing what I want to do when I want to do it, and not feeling like I have to prove to someone, prove anything to anyone. I'm happy with the way I dance. I don't feel like I need to, like, I don't know. It's just kind of like, I'm here, I'm going to do what I want. And I don't feel like I need to prove that I have to go dance at like every nightclub in Chicago and prove to everyone that I'm a whatever, professional, or I've done it all. I'm done. Basically, I've been there, I've done that. And I used to do that. I had to dance everywhere. Before, I had to dance everywhere. It was crazy. And it's just because that's what I wanted, though, too. And I love money. So to be honest, let's just be honest. We like the money that comes with it. But like, for example, I talked about fulfilling my dreams. My big dream when I was young dancer and medium dancer, whatever dancer, up until I left, was to dance in the Middle East. I wanted a contract in the Middle East. Didn't matter to me if it was a 1-month contract, a 1-year contract. I just wanted a contract.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I am. I have a goal and I go for it. If I can get it, I'm happy. And then I'm like, okay, move on. You know, that's why you don't see me like bragging about things all the time too much on the internet, or even talk too much, because the most important thing is when I fulfill a goal, it's like, I'm done, I'm happy. You know what I mean?
Right. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So my biggest thing is, so I went to the Middle East, I danced. Things did not work out perfect for me in the Middle East. In Dubai, it was fine. Everything was easy. I danced at some beautiful, beautiful stages, some beautiful dinner theaters, which were like perfect for me. Really good live bands there that were educated in Syria, music schools, and they were just so wonderful. And I danced in a couple of cabarets in Dubai, which I learned I didn't like cabarets anymore. I preferred the dinner theater. And I did a lot of really cool things for both Arabs, for tourists, for whatnot, for like people, you know, that living in Dubai. So for locals, it was really great. It was a really great experience. In Egypt, I had disaster, which is okay. My husband's laughing. So I was planning on staying in Cairo, just not forever, just my husband was getting his scuba diving license, so studying in Sharm el-Sheikh. I was eventually going to go back to Sharm el-Sheikh, but I was planning on spending the summer in Cairo to take advantage of that summer season when there's more than enough work for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah, there's back then, I don't know what it's like now, but there's more than enough work for everyone. So you don't need to worry about taking people's jobs or anything. There's work everywhere during the summer. Unfortunately, I tore the meniscus in my knee at a show.
Oh, I was wondering what happened. Like, what happened?
Yeah, I was at a show. I don't know to this day what happened. I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't eating well. So it might have been a combination of a lot of different things. At the time, I was stressed. I don't even remember over what, but I was. I was living with Najla and we were having a fabulous time, but I don't know, something was wrong with me. I had just moved from Dubai. I had all this stuff going on. So it was just it was kind of hard. And I started dancing there and it was like, okay, but we were waiting for the July. I think it was July. Yeah. July was when the summer season was really going to start, like in the North Coast and in Cairo, things would free up. And I was at a show just doing my thing. And I don't know what happened. I heard a crack and it was like, I finished the show, but I was like limping out of there. To this day, I don't know. I couldn't walk for 6 months.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I did physical therapy in Cairo because I didn't know what was going on. And finally I got someone to tell me, you know, it's going to take like 6 months to heal. And I was like, oh my God, there goes everything I planned. It was fine. I had to tell all the agents. They were like, but we had you scheduled. And I was like, oh. Anyway, so I got on a plane in a little wheelchair. I got to Sharm el-Sheikh. My husband wheeled me to our place and I lived a wonderful life in Sharm el-Sheikh. I have no complaints, honestly.
I was gonna say, there's no.
Yeah, I had a wonderful time there. I danced there, which was a challenge, but it was still okay. It was a challenge because you dance there. Your contracts are 6 days a week, 3 shows a night, 1 day off, and they pay you by month.
Wow. I
have never died in my life like I died in that place. I finally understood why contracts say maximum age is 26. I'm 39, by the way. My maximum age is 26 because your body cannot keep up with that kind of schedule.
Wow.
I lasted about 3 months and then I was like, all right, well, COVID hit, so I didn't have a choice, but I was like, it
Done.
was hard, but I did what I wanted. I did what I accomplished, what I wanted. And so I'm happy when I left the Middle East.
That's
So
the important thing. And what a great place to be, you
yeah,
know.
it's so
Say like,
beautiful. Amazing. Have you been there?
yes. To
Yes.
Egypt, yes. To
No, I
Sharm
mean,
el-Sheikh,
hey,
no.
oh, my husband wants to say that he's arranging a trip to Sharm el Sheikh for scuba divers. So if anyone's out there is a scuba diver and wants to go to Sharm el Sheikh,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was over there like, anyways. So what was the next question you asked me?
I think you answered it. It was like, what do you feel like is your greatest accomplishment? I think you talked.
Oh yeah, that's not, yeah, that's that I would say that's what I accomplished. And after that, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Not done, but like, what's there left? I did what I wanted to do. What other goal do I, I'm not a teacher. I should probably learn to teach. I'm teaching some people now, but they're Arab American, Middle Eastern women. They just want to
Right.
learn, I'm not teaching them like, any like crazy technique, like, that belly dancers want. And we're just having fun. But I
Good.
never really thought to teach really. I don't know. I guess I should, because it's a way to keep the thing dream go. Because I love dancing. I love putting together little choreographies and stuff. I love to dance for people. I mean, like there's all these haflas that go on, but no one's ever invited me to anyone. But it's probably because nobody knows who I am.
You know, that's a very possible.
Yeah,
I don't know that if they know you or not, but
probably not.
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. That
Yeah.
is the thing.
Yeah, because I see all these wonderful haflas, or not even hafla shows. I love that. Like they did one for the golden era. One, I don't even know who did it, but they had all these different dancers doing golden era. There's one coming up for like the 70s, and I'm like, that's so cool. So
You know,
I
a
don't know
lot
if
of
you
these
get on that mailing list.
shows you've got to ask or you contact the person.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You
You
can't
know me, I'm so
help waiting.
busy.
Yeah, it's not like before where like they came to you like, I want you to dance in my show, or I want you
Okay.
to
So
dance
it's
at-"
not bad to ask.
No.
Because I come from a generation where it's like, you don't ask because it's so bad, which I always thought was really stupid, but I didn't know if that was still a thing.
Yeah, no, things are different now. I mean,
Okay, cool. I like that better actually.
yeah, there's some freedom there instead of sitting around waiting and being like, nobody called me. You know, you just
Yeah, for me.
contact
Yeah.
people.
All right.
which
Well,
is
that's
good.
good to know. Well, when I'm
So,
more settled, I want to try to get more into that kind of stuff. That's what semi-retirement means to me, is like starting to like maybe start sharing myself with the community rather than just staying within myself as a
yeah, and if
gimmick
it feels
dancer.
right for you, do it.
Yeah, because it's tiring being a performing dancer. It's tiring being a working dancer, as they say. It's exhausting. It's not easy.
And you're a beautiful dancer, and you have
No,
I think that, you know, you should try teaching, and I
yeah,
think we as dancers have, you know, will benefit from your experience.
yeah. I think I have a lot to offer in terms of experience, and especially performance experience and stuff. I don't
Mhm.
know about technique so much. I'm not. I'm a very Arabic style dancer. I'm a bit
Mhm.
messy. I'm a bit, which is okay. I don't mind it. I like it. But I'm not, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not like that perfect technique person, which is beautiful as well. But there's wealth in both of them, you know.
absolutely. And so you're still performing shows and parties and
I'm
stuff.
doing parties, and I'll do that Alhambra place because they actually pay us well.
That's a beautiful
And
thing.
I will, but that's about, and I don't even like doing parties, honestly. I hate going to people's houses. I hate dealing with them. I hate calling them. I hate booking the shows. I need an agent. If anyone wants to be my agent, you can have 20%.
There you go. But yeah, there comes a point, I know I was that way, and like I just was all of a sudden like,
I was like that even when I was dancing before I left for Dubai. I only danced in nightclubs because I just really didn't enjoy having to book people. Arabic people are the easiest to book. because they're like, oh, be there at 12 o'clock on Saturday. And you come and you do your thing and you go. I swear other people, it's like, well, not, I shouldn't say all Arabic people are not easy, but I think it's if the groom or the uncle hires you, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
But then sometimes the women aren't because they're so excited to have you. They want to know what you're going to wear, what you're going to play, and what you're going to this and that, which is okay, but I don't have time. So I'm going to start charging a $25 fee for extra.
I know, right? Oh my God.
What? Oh, okay, sorry.
No, that's fine. So you say you're semi-retired, so there's no like big things coming up for you, but we're going to keep our eye on you because I have a feeling that, there's going to be from Nadya Noura.
Yeah,
So,
let's see what happens when I leave Chicago. We're not announcing anything yet, but I'm going to leave Chicago at some point. Yeah. There'll be an announcement. So maybe when I leave the state, maybe I'll find something I like in the new state or new city that's like, maybe I'll be a teacher, maybe I'll be a performer again, maybe who knows, I'm a who knows, maybe I won't dance at all because I won't have time because of my career job thing.
And all of those things are okay.
Yeah.
What do you want to be remembered for as a dancer? Like, what do you want people to say like 100 years from now? Like, remember that dancer in Chicago, Nadya Noura? What do you want them to?
Well, I don't want them to remember me for what they probably will remember me. Yes, which is a real pain in the ass, tough girl, because I used to scream at people, and because I just sometimes you just got to do it to like get what you want, or just it's a tough world. So but as a performer, I guess I don't know. I guess I never thought about it. Maybe I thought about it when I was younger because I had this thing about being Arabic and I had to be like, I have to show what a belly dancer isn't actually like a whatever, like they think they are, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm pure. I'm not like what you think. And now I don't care. I'm like, think whatever you want. I know who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I came from working and living in the Middle East. So I guess I don't care. If they forget about me, okay. If they remember me, great. And if they remember me in a good way, great. If they don't, then
we will remember you as Nadya, keeping it real. That's
yes, keeping it real.
There you go.
You can ask Phaedra about me. She'll tell you about my keeping it real. And before I was not a nice person. I was not a nice belly dancer, but part of it, to other belly dancers, part of it had to do with frustration with what I saw of unprofessionalism going on within the belly dance community in the nightclub scene, like people not showing up for their jobs, people blowing it off, people not even knowing the first thing about what a belly dancing is. It's like, it's not just putting on a costume. There's someone, anyways. And it goes on to this day, not so much anymore because belly dancing isn't as popular and there's not as many places as before, but God, at least know something, something. Please take 1 year of belly dance and I can forgive you after that. Yeah, I can forgive you at least take 1 year because I see people I don't think they've ever taken a class in their life. Like they're not even beginner.
This is why you need to teach.
Yeah, you're right. So that's, I used to, and now I don't care anymore. Like, I'm like, really, I'm like, whatever. I don't waste my time with wondering what other people are doing anymore. If that's what they're going to hire, then okay, that's what they want. Enjoy.
Yeah. It's probably very freeing to have that attitude and just be like,
Yep. Extremely. Right. Changed a lot. I've changed 100%.
Good. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to talk about or you want to mention that?
Probably, but I can't even think of it right now.
This doesn't have to be
So,
the only time we have this.
okay.
Opportunity. So
Yeah, I
next
guess if anyone
time,
has any questions for me, they can always message me or whatever. And
yes, I don't see
send me
any.
if you're not friends with me on Facebook, send me a request. I will. But follow me on Instagram, please. I'm a big Instagram. I barely post on Facebook.
So follow her on Instagram. What's your Instagram? I'm going to put it in the.
Nadia, yeah, I don't even remember. Nadia underscore Dora, I believe. Wait, hold on. I'm promoting my Instagram and I don't even know what it is.
With us.
Yeah, Nadia underscore Noura. But please,
Okay.
please, Instagram. I only post on Instagram. If it shares on Facebook, that's how it ends up there. Sometimes I'll post things, but not usually.
Yes, I put it in the chat.
Nobody talks on Instagram. I don't have to read people's bullshit. No one's putting bad comments on no one's ever put bad comments because I'm not really out there so much. But do you know what I mean? Like, I get to just see people dance. I don't need, you know what I mean?
I know there is a benefit to Instagram and just.
Yeah, I don't mind people talking on Facebook, but I just don't have the brain for it right now. I just want to see pretty things in my life.
Yeah, that's a great
Especially in
thing.
COVID times.
Yeah, Instagram is great for that.
I even stopped reading the news, and I'm a big news person. I like to know what's going on in the world, and I'm not even reading that right now.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens and what's next, and I love your dancing.
Thank you.
So glad that you're part of this. I mean, you have, an important, dance life to share with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Experience as a working dancer in the Middle East, and so that's important.
Yeah, 3 different countries. So here in Egypt, Dubai. So
Yay.
yeah. And and you'll really, if I don't know if my old videos are up, but you really see a difference in my dancing from my American side to when I came back from the Middle East. And it's not so much because, the Middle East taught me all this amazing stuff, which it did, but it was also just dancing. It just changed everything. So that is a big thing for learning to really become a better dancer is dance. And what? Oh, and my husband having a husband that'll sit and let you play the same song 100 times in a day while you're practicing your choreography. And structured choreographies, that is the way to go, I've learned, if you have a CD. Even if you're dancing music that they play the same all the time.
The good, supportive belly dance husband.
Yes, except he doesn't go to my shows.
Is your husband Middle Eastern?
Yeah, he's Egyptian.
All right. Woo.
Yeah, but he won't come to my shows. He doesn't like to see me dance. But he doesn't stop me. Not that he could.
Which is good. Yeah, all that is good, but it's still part of what we deal with.
I don't mind. I have more fun when he doesn't come because I don't have to go sit at the table with him, entertain him. I don't have to. It's like having a kid with you, so it's better because I can go with my friends and we can laugh, or I can just it's better.
Hilarious. And I think
he can't go to the haflas. Like he doesn't want to go to the haflas where it's just belly dancers because for him he's Egyptian, so he knows belly dancing. So he's like, what is this? What are people doing?
Yeah,
not everyone. I'm sorry, but
But yeah, I mean, that's the reality.
And it's not wrong to be a beginner, and it's not wrong to not know what you're doing. But some people don't want to see it.
I know I'm trying to wrap it up, but
I'm sorry.
No, you really made me realize, or I think you really drove home the point of there's the reality of the belly dance world outside of the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the belly dance world inside the Middle East that is still not part of like everyday culture.
Yeah, not at all.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big part of the normal day culture. You got to take off your nails, your eyelashes, I'm not talking about like the foreigners, but I've heard that before. And you'll go to the clubs and the girls that are the ones that sit at the tables and dance, like even when the belly dancer is dancing, they might be the prostitutes or whatever. When they leave the club, they put on a galabia or a abaya. They take off all their makeup before they leave. Huh? Oh, I hear you making noise over there. They take off all their makeup, put on the abaya, and this is in Egypt, and go. Because in order to be under the radar and normal, that's how you do it.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well,
and those aren't belly dancers, by the way, just to say.
No, but just, yeah. But even like you said, Sahar Samara, Randa.
Yeah, from what I understand, her family isn't part of that.
But I mean, they have their dance persona, and then in real life, they're just like a regular Egyptian.
And then Randa too, yeah.
Like walking around.
Yeah.
I'm a famous belly dancer, and they don't show it off.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah.
This has been really interesting.
Really? Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm sure that the folks out there would agree.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your time, and I'm excited for what's next from you. We're going to be staying.
And by the way, you are the only person I have ever agreed to do an interview with.
Really?
I've had people ask me, and I've always been like, no, I'm too shy. I don't want to say, especially when I was in the Middle East, I didn't want to talk. And it was because there's this feeling people are watching you, and you just don't want to. It's scary. It's better for me. I like being under the radar rather than people watching me. What is she doing? She's there. Who's that? What is she doing? I'm like, oh my God. So I actually posted nothing when I have tons of videos, tons of pictures from my time in the Middle East that I never posted on social media. And it's because I knew people are watching. So it scares me more when people are watching. Like, what are they going to think? What are they going to this? Which is so stupid. I think I'm past that now, but in the Middle East, there is this stress. You feel like
the reality of the Arabic culture.
Yes.
Culture is everybody is watching
exactly
all the time.
And this is in America. I mean, I'm not, I'm worried about the people. I don't care about the people in the Middle East. I don't know them, but like the people here, the belly dance community, it's the exact same thing. It's like the Arabs are exactly. It's like your neighbors are watching you, seeing what, Ugh, awful. And I'm not the only one that feels this.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I know a lot of people in the Middle East that are working there that feel this way too, that they're like, oh, about the internet, even though they still do it.
Yeah, but there's nothing like dancing for Middle Eastern people.
Yes, no, yeah. Especially if they enjoy it. If they're assholes, and they're worse, but if they're enjoying it, then they are the best.
True.
And the Middle Eastern people in the Middle East, the Americans, the ones here in America, a little different too.
Yeah. Oh God, I was going to say something and I forgot. I don't know what's going on. And see, I'm like obsessing because my lighting is weird and my makeup looks crazy.
Really? You look fabulous from here.
I feel like I look like a crazy person. So
not at all. Not at all.
I hope that we're
I'm caked with stage makeup right now.
I hope we're gonna stay in touch. I'm
yes,
waiting
please.
to come to California and visit.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yes.
And hopefully we're gonna meet up one of these days soon and hear more about Nadya Noura.
Yeah. Anytime. You gotta get me out of my shell. You gotta get me out of my little hole that I live in. So follow me on Instagram, please.
Follow her on Instagram.
Yeah,
the link is in the chat, or I guess it's the chat. Yeah, the chat.
Yeah.
And we are going to have more from the Manat Dancers Collective.
Yes.
Like right away. You're going to find out about it probably tomorrow. And so stay in touch. Follow what we do. We're just trying to. The point of these interviews is to give a voice and a platform for dancers of Manat heritage, who we've already talked about many times, saying we don't always have that voice or that platform in our own dance form. So that's what this is for. And I appreciate,
I feel safe. Here, yeah.
Good, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. I don't
And for
feel,
those of you out there watching and listening, thank you. Please feel free to share, follow us, support us, and hopefully we're enriching the dance community in some way. So, Nadia, go have a great show.
oh, thank you. Thank
Love
you.
you,
Thank you
Assalamu.
so
Thank
much.
you to your Egyptian hubby in the background.
Say bye.
It-
No, he's not even listening.
That's okay. Bye,
He's on the
everybody.
phone.
Have a great evening. We love you.
Okay, bye.
Assalamu.